May I now request Honorary Secretary of III Ahmednagar Local Center, Engineer M. Anikar sir, to give welcome address and a brief introduction about the Institution of Engineers, India.
Am I audible, Mr. Abhay?
Yes, sir.
Good evening, everybody. I welcome you all on behalf of III Ahmednagar. Today we are here to celebrate 54th Engineers Day. On this day, every year we discuss, deliberate some important theme. This year's theme is Engineers for Skill Development and Employment in Combating COVID. We are fortunate to have Mr. Praveen Kole, Superintending Engineer Pune Circle, as chief guest and our keynote speaker to share his insights on the theme. I welcome him. Today's topic is very important as we all are facing challenges, various changes in our career and business. More and more digitalization is happening. Virtual working is new and common practice nowadays. New opportunities are generating every day and old practices are vanished because of COVID in a very short span. Today's this deliberation and keynote address by Mr. Kole will help us to accommodate current changes. Today we have Engineer A.P. Pargaonkar, Director Manufacturing, Schneider Electric India Private Limited, as President of this function. Also, we have Engineer Dr. R.S. Shinde, Outstanding Scientist and Head, Magnetic Technology Division, Department of Atomic Energy, Government of India. He is with us for this today's evening. This program is in association with G.H. Raisoni College of Engineering, Chas. Principal Dr. Jay Kumar and Professor Kardile are with us to mark this important day. Every year, we felicitate, encourage good engineers by giving them various awards as token of appreciation. This year also, we got lot of nominations of various capable engineers doing good work in their respective fields. And today we are going to felicitate them. I welcome all awardees. Also, I would like to welcome our own managing committee members, members of Ahmednagar Local Center, and members of student chapters in various engineering colleges. Dear friends, I am happy to share with you that we are constructing our own office building and it has a very spacious skill development center, cyber library, among other facilities. The construction is in progress. We have completed one slab out of 4. I request all of you to give your support to this activity. Our team of our members, enthusiastic members, has planned very nice program and an informative session. I hope all of you will like it. Please enjoy. Thank you. Thank you very much. Over to Abhay.
Thank you so much, sir. Engineering is the art of organizing and directing men and controlling the forces and materials of nature for the benefit of human race.
We would like to welcome eminent personalities from engineering faculty who are present here online. Dr. Rajendra Bhosle, District Collector, Dr. S.V. Gade, Director VRD, Dr. Kadam, Controller of Quality Assurance Vehicles, Dr. S.D. Korantiwar, Council Member from Agricultural Division, Dr. U.P. Naik, Principal, Dr. Vikhe Patil College of Engineering, Dr. J. Jaykumar, Principal, G.H. Raisoni College of Engineering, Dr. M.P. Nagarkar, Principal, SCCSM College of Engineering, Ahmednagar, Dr. M.S. Satarkar, Principal, Government Polytechnic, Ahmednagar, Engineer J.D. Kulkarni, Superintending Engineer PWD Ahmednagar, Engineer Sanjay Pawar, Executive Engineer, Engineer G.B. Nannor, Executive Engineer, Engineer Rajesh Patil, Assistant Director Town Planning, Engineer Charthankar, Town Planning Ahmednagar Municipal Corporation. We welcome all these eminent personalities on behalf of Ahmednagar Local Center. We would like to felicitate Dr. A.S. Garodkar, Superintending Engineer and Joint Director of Valmi, Aurangabad. He is past Secretary of our Ahmednagar Local Center, a proud moment for all of us as he has taken the charge as a SC and Joint Director Valmi. Congratulations, sir.
I would also like to welcome committee members of IEI Ahmednagar Local Center, Engineer Sangam Sinha sir, Engineer M.M. Anekar, Honorary Secretary, Engineer A.D. Kulkarni, Immediate Past Chairman, Engineer R.P. Vaikar, Immediate Past Honorary Secretary, Engineer P.S. Gandhi, Chemical Engineering, Engineer S.A. Kadam, Agriculture Engineering, Engineer C.G. Bodgi, Civil Engineering, Engineer M.D. Balte, Civil Engineering, Engineer R.F. Munot, Civil Engineering, Engineer H.B. Tigre, Mechanical Engineering, Dr. M.P. Wagh, Civil Engineering, Dr. D.A. Vidate, Computer Engineering, Engineer K.M. Raje, Electrical Engineering, Dr. R.S. Deshpande, E&TC Engineering, Engineer B.R. Patil, E&TC Engineering, Engineer Ms. Rubia Sheikh, Environmental Engineering, Engineer A.P. Pargaukar, Mechanical Engineering, Engineer Bharat Bhushan Bhagwat, Mechanical Engineering, Dr. D.B. Karanjole, Mechanical Engineering, Engineer Abhay K. Raje, Production Engineering, Engineer S.D. Gundecha, Mechanical Engineering, Dr. A.A. Atre, Co-opted Member, Engineer K.M. Dongre, Co-opted Member, Engineer A.P. Mande, Co-opted Member. In this hard time of COVID pandemic, all these committee members have put in huge efforts in making this event successful. I would like to appreciate them and thank them for their unconditional support.
May I thank Dr. R.S. Deshpande sir for preparing the video on the theme Engineers for Skill Development and Employment in Combating COVID given by IEI Headquarters.
Thank you, sir. A personality with distinct vision and a fountainhead of illuminating ideas, an idol of knowledge is our today's chief guest and keynote speaker, Honorable Engineer Praveen Kolle sir, Superintending Engineer, Pune Irrigation Project Circle, Pune.
खोकर पाने का मजा ही कुछ और है, रोकर मुस्कुराने का मजा ही कुछ और है, हार तो जिंदगी का हिस्सा है, हारने के बाद जीने का मजा ही कुछ और है. With initial struggle in life, our chief guest and keynote speaker, Engineer Praveen Kolle, is now Superintending Engineer at Water Resource Department, Government of Maharashtra, India. Presently, he is working at Pune Irrigation Project Circle, Pune, handling the responsibility of construction of water and irrigation infrastructure, including dams, canals, piped irrigated networks, small hydropower schemes, etc. He is pursuing PhD at IIT Bombay as an external candidate. Prior to that, he worked as an executive engineer at Pune Irrigation Division, handling the responsibility of water and irrigation management activities. Previously, he held the position of executive engineer and assistant executive engineer after securing first rank in WRD in Maharashtra Engineering Service Exam 2004 conducted by MPSC. Prior to that, Engineer Praveen Kolle secured gold medal from Pune University for being a ranker in civil engineering in 2004, and then he completed MTech from IIT Kanpur in 2007. Later in 2014, he completed IIM Indore's executive postgraduate program in e-governance. He also completed MBA Finance, Master of Arts in Public Administration, and hold 3 postgraduate diplomas. Engineer Praveen Kolle is honored with several awards including Outstanding Engineers Award by Government of Maharashtra in 2019 for his work in irrigation management. In 2019, on behalf of WRD, he received Geospatial Excellence Award for application of drone in water management. His participation in Integrated State Water Plan was appreciated by Director General Meri. He also received Sir Vishweswaraya Award by the hands of Principal Secretary Government of Maharashtra in 2011. He is a life member of 13 technical and scientific organizations, and he is a speaker at conferences including India Water Week. He has also delivered guest lecture at various institutions in India. He has designed, hosted and managed his own website www.praveenkolle.com, where civil engineering study material is made available to the students. He has received many awards including P.S. Sharangapani Gold Medal, Suryakant Deshpande Memorial Prize, K. Gokhale Memorial Prize, R.F. Francis Memorial Prize, F.N. Vartak Memorial Prize and many more. He has also received Outstanding Engineer Award by Government of Maharashtra in 2019 for his work in irrigation management. Such an eminent personality is our chief guest today. On behalf of IEI ALC, I request our guest to enlighten the audience with his thoughts. Sir, please.
So kindly unmute yourself, sir.
Yeah. Thank you to all, and please give me access to share my presentation.
Vidate sir, kindly make him host, co-host.
Yeah, so I will start. So respected digital dais, my engineer brothers and sisters, today we are celebrating Engineers Day. Although it is we are celebrating the event on a bit late, but I think enthusiasm there is no limitation to the enthusiasm of the members and the managing body of the Institution of Engineers, Ahmednagar Local Center. First of all, let me wish a very happy Engineers Day to all the delegates. Honorable President of this function, Engineer A.P. Pargaonkar sir, Honorable Chairman, Secretary, and member of Managing Committee, and all the members of Institution of Engineers, Ahmednagar Local Center, and Honorable Principal G.H. Raisoni College of Engineering, and all the delegates. Today we are celebrating 54th Engineers Day, and theme of this year is Engineer for Skill Development and Employment in Combating COVID. So I express my thought through this presentation, and I wish we should, as an engineer, we should contribute to the development of our society and for the overall skill development of the each and every person from the society. So I am sharing my thoughts. Sir, hope my presentation is visible and my voice is clearly audible to you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So thank you. So first, as we discussed that Engineers Day is observed in our country on 15th of September, but this day is observed on several days in various countries. And in 2020, World Federation of Engineering Organization, that is WFEO, designated March 4th as World Engineering Day for Sustainable World. And in India, we observe this Engineers Day on the birth anniversary of Bharat Ratna Sir Mokshagundam Vishweswaraya, who was a legend in the field of engineering. So engineering, who is an engineer? Basically, we should discuss this term because we should have our concept very clear. So let define the term engineer. So engineer is a person who designs, builds, or maintain engines, machines, or structures. So that this person is an engineer. So there is a confusion that whether this term is derived from engine. So obviously not. Steam engines were invented in 19th century, whereas engineering, this sector came into existence centuries before that. And this it has been concluded that the engineer word has been emerged from the Latin word enginere, which means that to create, to generate, to contribute, or to devise with a cleverness. So this is a engineering field, and there is a role for engineer in each and every domain. So what is the role of engineer? So engineer is a professional who invent, who designs, who analyze, who build and test. These are the machines, complex systems, structures, gadgets, and materials in order to fulfill the functional objectives and requirements of the society. And while considering the limitations imposed by the practicality, regulation, safety, and cost. So these are the constraints which are dealt by the engineer while designing any structure or any machine. So, respected delegates, let me define some basic important concepts. So, what is science? So, science is understanding the natural rules. What is engineering? Engineering is application of those scientific principles in order to make our life more safe and comfortable. So, in science, we try to get idea about the natural principles, and in engineering, we apply those natural principles in order to make any structure, any equipment, or any product so that our life becomes more safe and comfortable. And what is technology? Technology is outcome of engineering design. So in technology, we also consider how to make this product in reality. So these three domains are overlapping on one another. All these three things are important from engineering perspective. And, present day, some engineers study about the science. Some engineers study the applied science, that is engineering, and some engineers are concerned with the technological outcome of the design. And I would like to quote here that without engineers, all science will be just a philosophy. So engineers make science come into the real world. So now we are passing through a COVID pandemic era, and at this juncture, it is very important to discuss the economical situation of the globe as well as of our country. So in the upcoming slide, we will discuss the economical analysis, that is a pre-COVID situation, and what is the post-COVID situation. So what was the pre-pandemic economical condition? So at that time, before 2020, the total income of this global economy was about 85.80 trillion US dollar, and in Indian rupees it is about 63.20 crores. So here there are 2 crores. So this is a huge amount, and this is a quantum of total global GDP. And at the top there is a USA with 24% share. At second place there is a China. Third place Japan, about 6% share. Fourth place Germany, about 5% share. Fifth place UK, 3% share. Sixth place France, 3% share. And at the seventh place we are placed, that is with 3.18% share. So at global ranking we are ranked at the seventh place, while at Asian ranking we are at third place. First is China, second is Japan, and third is India. So our contribution to the world economy is just 3%. And in terms of Indian rupees, this 3% comes out to be 2.6 crore. And that is USD 2.7 trillion US dollars. So this is a huge number. So if we see the distribution of this income or gross domestic product by sector, basically worldwide there are 3 sectors dominating. First sector is a service sector, second sector is the industry sector, and third sector is the agriculture sector. If we see the how economy distributed across these 3 sectors in United States, then we will realize that about 80% of economy of United States is dependent on service sector. 19% economy is dependent on industry sector, whereas only 1% in economy is dependent on agriculture sector. If we compare United States with India, there is a huge contrast. About 57% of the economy is dependent on services sector, 26% is on industry sector, and 17% is dependent on agriculture sector. So in upcoming slide, the role of engineer in skill development is highly appreciated, because in the upcoming years, the Indian economy will also shift from the agro-based economy to the industry and service-based economy. So while having this transition from agriculture economy to the service or industry-based economy, there is a need for skill development of each and every stakeholder, and we will discuss this in detail. The post-pandemic economy, suppose we analyze this economy, we will realize that the forecasted impact of the COVID pandemic on global GDP was negative 4.5%. So global GDP was dropped by about 4.5%. But in real, it was a forecasted impact, but actual impact was about 6.7% negative growth. So our economy generally, it very largely hampered because of this COVID situation. And as we discussed that pre-COVID economy was about 85.80 trillion US dollar in 2019, and post-COVID economy was 5.70. The loss due to the post-COVID economy was 5.75 trillion US dollar in 2020. That is 6.7% drop. But this drop is not even. So from Indian perspective, we should understand that world average drop is about 6.7%, but the drop in the economy of developing country is about 4.8%. Average economy is about 6.5%. Emerging market is about 7%, and India falls in the bucket of emerging market. So although world average is 6.7%, we are affected by about 7%. And Latin America was the worst affected countries, and the impact of COVID-19 on Latin America was 8.5%. It is negative. In Indian economy, let's understand this. The drop in Indian GDP was 24.4% during first quarter of the 2020. That is from April to June, the drop was anticipated as 24.4%. And further drop in Indian GDP was 7.4% during July to September. And there was a slightly recovery in the next quarter, that is October to December quarter, the 0.5% upside recovery, and another 1.6% upside recovery in January to March. So overall, if we sum up, the overall contraction in India GDP for last year was 7.3%. And since 1947, that is since independence, there was decline in national income in only 4 years. So there were only 4 years in which national income was declined, and those years are 1958, 1966, 1973, and 1980. And the largest drop was in 1980. That was the drop was 5.2%. And in 2020 and 21, the drop is of magnitude of negative 7.3%. So since independence, this is the largest drop in our economy, and that's why this is a concern for all the stakeholders. The Indian economy is expected to grow by 9.5%. So what is expected? What is the forecasted for upcoming year? It is mentioned in this slide. In the upcoming year, it is expected that Indian economy will grow by 9.5%, and forecast for next year is anticipated that there will be about 7% rise, and GDP rise in the first quarter of this year was 20.1%. So this is a very good news for all the engineering fraternity and for all the persons who are working in services sector or industry sector, because there was a drop of 7.3% in last year, but there is a rise in the of 20% in the first quarter. And this is a V-shaped recovery. That means that there was a sharp downturn, quickly bottoms out, and there is a sharp rebound. And experts are optimistic that India will continue to post strong growth in upcoming years. But there is a challenge. There is a risk of third wave of COVID. So there are challenges in this field. And although India is Asia's third largest economy, it remains smaller than it was before the pandemic. So there are challenges to recover from this pandemic effect. So now we will discuss the impact of COVID-19 on engineering sector. So first, there was a reduction in demand in each and every sector. The construction sector is affected, manufacturing sector is affected, automobile sector is affected, aviation sector is highly affected, tourism sector is also affected. So there was a reduction in the demand. There was a liquidity crisis. Then there were changes in working practices due to physical distancing. So there are social distancing norms, and because of these norms, the working practices has to be changed. There is the culture of remote working practices initiated, and this hampered the engineering sector to a great extent. The second impact is on health and safety protocols. So while working at site or at any office, the officers or engineers have to follow the safety protocols. And because of following of these additional health and safety protocols, the efficiency of all the workers or all the engineers had degraded. Then there was a norms of physical distancing, which resulted in slow progress of work. And also, while working at site, there was a continuous medical checkups of the workers and engineers. So this also resulted setback to the progress. Further, this resulted into contractual issues and conflicts. So there was time and cost overruns. Many engineering projects were derailed from their initial planned date of completion. There were contractual issues, and there were some terminations of the contract, and there were some renegotiation. So the termination, the contractual issue happened between the contractor and supplier, between contractor and the body who is executing that project. The contractual issue occurred between the country because there were a restriction of the imports and there were limitations of the transportation. So it was a the payment change impact. There was a huge impact on the supply chain management side. And there is only one positive thing happen on the backdrop of all negative things. Sir, I request Rajkumar Manoj sir to, yeah, thank you. So the only good thing happened during this pandemic time is introduction of ICT, that is information and communication, and all the emerging technology. So now today I am discussing my thoughts with you through this Zoom platform. So although Zoom platform was existing before the pandemic, still we are not using that platform. But now we are using that platform for delivering my lecture. And I think this was a very good impact. And in this way, the technology came for our help, and we could start again. Also, there were some positive news from construction industry. The health system, there were some good initiatives in healthcare system. For example, in China, they constructed 1,600 bed hospital in just 12 days. So it was a huge hospital constructed in China. In UK also, they constructed 500 bed hospital in just 9 days. In India, 1,008 bed hospital was constructed in just few days period. And in Pune, the Sassoon Hospital oxygen plant and gas line was constructed and commissioned in 11 days. And expected timeline for this project was about 6 months. So this was a impressive speed of construction, and it is a testament of the talent of the construction industry during this pandemic period. In the upcoming slide, we will discuss some of the challenges and opportunities on the backdrop of these challenges. So I think there are 5 basic challenges. First is a loss of dedication and focus because of loss of family member, because of the COVID, or because of loss of employment opportunities, or because of the some medical issues. Many engineers or other friends may feel that they lost their dedication and focus towards their life. So this is how to overcome this challenge is a big issue. And as an engineer, as a part of this society, we should encourage such people and should bring them out from their present situation. Second challenge is unemployment and reduced salary. So friends, we understand that this is a very tough period, and there should not be very exceptional demand from the industry, because each and every industry is going through very bad phase. And because of that, as a result of that, there is a huge level of unemployment. And also those people who are working in the field, they are working at very low salary. Then third impact is the new skill sets are required in order to perform their duties. So new skill sets in terms of operating, sitting in front of computer, discussing your plans and taking meetings through online mechanisms. So these are the new skill set required in order to perform your duties. Then fourth challenge is the medical emergencies in home, in office, and with your colleagues. And the last and most important challenge is in upcoming years, there will be many traditional professions which will die and new professions will emerge. So this is the right time to visualize the future and visualize what will happen in upcoming period, which profession will be decline in the decline phase, and in some maybe 5 or 10 years from this time there may be some professions or some jobs opportunity which will not exist. So this is the right time to change our gear and start the journey on that track. And on this backdrop, there are some opportunities. First opportunity or first good thing is that everybody across the globe is in the same boat. So there is no need to worry. So there is no competition. All are on the same page or same benchmark. Second important thing we learn is that life will never end. There will be challenges in our life, in nation's life, but life will never end. There will be ups and downs, but after every down there will be up. Third important opportunity is e-learning and remote working practices. And in upcoming slides, I will discuss some of the important upcoming remote working practices and upcoming technologies which will assist engineer to carry out their works and tasks much efficiently. Fourth important opportunity is the V-shaped recovery of our economy is very helpful for getting new opportunities. Fifth is new normal. So post-COVID situation has taught some lessons to us, and because of these lessons, there is a situation of new normal. And last is a develop skills for upcoming opportunities. So there are challenges. We understand that because of these challenges, some professions will die, and in order to get a skillful person, we should anticipate the future and grab the opportunities. And in order to do that, we need, as an engineer, we should train or we should inculcate skills to the stakeholders. So which are the emerging technologies in this domain? First, let's understand the industrial revolution. So I will spend a minute for discussing this. So the first industrial revolution occurred in 18th century, and it was powered by water and steam mechanized production. So first industrial revolution, which was backed because of the innovation in the steam engine technology. In the second industrial revolution was backed by the electric power, the power of mass production in the 19th century. The third industrial revolution happened because of the enhancement in the electronics and information technology. So this resulted in automated production, and it happened in the first part of in the 20th century. And in the present era, in the present situation, in the 21st century, the fourth industrial revolution is going to happen, and we are on the verge of that. And upcoming field is automation and data exchange and digitization. So this will be treated as a fourth industrial revolution. And what will be its important components? First, will industrial revolution 4.0 replace human jobs? The answer to this question is no, at least not by 100%, but yes, if you see the long term, then there will be replacement of human jobs. Some jobs will be automated, some jobs will be carried out by the remotes or computer or automation system, and there will be the need of another type of jobs. But this will not happen immediately, but after 10 or 15 years, this will definitely happen. Like if you see the banking sector, if you see the railway sector, if you see the design sector, these are hampered by the software, incorporation of the software. Nowadays, all the designs is carried out by the computer programs. So in future also, there will be many such processes which will be taken care by the computer programs. So this is the right time to anticipate which is the upcoming technology. For example, in construction management, BIM is an upcoming technology. Drones is an upcoming technology. In communication, this VC or Google Meet is upcoming technology. So there is chances of replacement of many jobs, and engineering sector needs decision making at various activity level. And in order to take decisions, the engineers require data and communication of their decision. And this technology will help the engineers to take decision at appropriate level and to communicate this decision at appropriate person. So automation, robotics, and artificial intelligence will replace many activities. For example, there will be use of robots in construction and manufacturing sector. So for example, if you take an example of batching plant, so at present day, generally we use manual labor in order to mix the material, in order to dump the material. But in future, in very coming soon, the construction at construction site, we will see the robots for transporting the material, for excavating the land, for leveling the lands, and this activity can be easily automated. Application of drones. This is a great field. The drones will be used. These are currently used in various departments, like in irrigation department. Drones are commonly used for carrying out survey, then for measuring the area, then carry out the irrigation assessment. And these drones are will be used for construction and manufacturing sector in order to monitor the progress of work, in order to monitor the quality and quantity of execution, in order to monitor the movement of machineries and their coordination. In logistics sectors, in the upcoming period, it will not be a surprising to see the delivery of any item will be received through drones. So this is the upcoming sector, and this will also replace many jobs. In supply chain management, this drone is a helpful. In agriculture sector, there are tremendous advantages of using drones. Then process and progress monitoring, the monitoring of the progress of any canal execution work or railway execution work is very easy with the drones. And last is the quality monitoring and surveillance. Then there is a technology known as augmented and virtual reality. This technology can be used very intelligently for planning and management. So this technology gives a 3D picture of the proposed structure or proposed product, and which gives and using this technology we can simulate various combinations. So using this technology, virtual reality technology, we can have number of plans with us, and we can choose the optimum plan from available alternatives. So respected delegates, now after giving a brief overview of the COVID, its impact on economy, the upcoming challenges, and the positive sides of this COVID pandemic, that is emerging technologies, and a slightly black side of this upcoming technology, that is a loss of human jobs. So on this background, I will discuss now the need for skill development and employment and role of engineer in the same. So first we will understand the concept of demographic advantage. The India enjoys demographic advantage as India has the highest number of youngest workforce. So if we see the census 2011, we will realize that there are highest number of population, highest number of persons of age belonging to 20 to 29 years. And this is a pyramid, and the projected population of 2022 is it can be clearly seen that there will be the highest number of young population. So this availability of young population for contributing to the development of our economy is a very great factor, and it has been treated as a demographic advantage. But there is a challenge. Challenge is that the present skill status is not up to the mark. It has been estimated that as per 11th 5-year plan document volume 1, in India, only 10% of workforce is trained as compared to 96% in the South Korea. So although we have very young population, the training and capacity building and skill development of that population is a very important part, and we should shift our focus from just giving a degree to the engineer as an engineer to a professional, truly professional engineer. And Recent study indicates that just 25% of the Indian professionals are employable in the organized sector. Hence, our focus shall be on creating skilled workforce. And I think our institution of engineers gives this opportunity to discuss the upcoming field. And I think this seminar or this discussion is one of the example of that. And in order to achieve the same, there is a need to build and share knowledge community. And this trained workforce will offer solution to the critical issues of the rural India as well as the agro-based industry. So it has been anticipated that in period 2013 to 2022, the requirement of human resources is mentioned in this slide. So we can clearly see that the highest demand will be in building and construction sector. About 31 million human resources will be required in building and construction sector, whereas there will be decline of employment opportunities in agriculture sector. So in this slide, the incremental requirement of human resources for various sectors is mentioned. Of course, these numbers do not include the impact due to the COVID pandemic. The post-pandemic skill sets, we will discuss this. What skill set are required in the post-pandemic era? So in 2017, McKinsey Global Institute estimated that about 14% global workforce will have to switch their occupations or they have to acquire new skills by 2030. So as per their anticipation, about 14% of the workforce has to shift. So it is just a 1/6 of the total population, working population, has to shift their job by 2030. And they anticipated that this will happen because of automation and artificial intelligence. But in recent McKinsey Global Survey, 87% executive experience skill gap in the workforce. And COVID pandemic situation worsened the present environment. And because of this, there is a new normal and there is a focus on remote working practices and there is an adoption of information technology practices in business activities. Hence, now acquiring new skill sets are important from employment perspective, and many companies realize that there is a need of redundancy in manpower. In earlier era, in IT sector or in any mass production system, there were definite personals who are having specific tasks. But now it has been realized that since we cannot depend a single manpower in order to carry out the function, and hence multiple experts are required in order to do that job considering the medical crisis situation. And how to enhance the skill set? So there is a 4-step procedure. First step is a prepare strategy and roadmap. So as we discussed till now, we should forecast the future. For example, for construction industry, future is on automation, the robotics. In design, there will be softwares. In execution, there will be the use of drones. There will be use of robots. And we should anticipate the upcoming changes. We should anticipate the upcoming requirements because there will be change in demand for various types of building. There will be there will be the change in the mode of transportation. So considering this, we should prepare as a society. We should think what should be our strategy and what will be the milestone in order to achieve that strategy. Second step is develop digital capabilities. So in order to achieve our goals, what should be our capabilities? So we should understand the capabilities. Third step is support for their adaptability and resilience. So as a scientific body like Institution of Engineers, we should support the engineers in order to make them more competent and resilient in order to achieve that roadmap. And last is enhance social and emotional skills. So in future, although technological knowledge is much more important, but now industry had realized that there is a much more focus on social and emotional skills, because while dealing the pandemic like situation, the role, the human emotion played a major role in combating the same. So this is a 4-step strategy in order to enhance the skill sets. And I think in the this upcoming last slide, we will discuss the way ahead. So friends and my delegates, the engineers shall have multidisciplinary knowledge. He should not be restricted in his domain, because in future there will be many upcoming technologies, and as a engineer fraternity, we should adopt these upcoming technologies, and we should use this technology in our core domain. Second, as an engineer, we should understand the social problems. So the problems of the society are not same. The problems of the United States or problems of China or problems of India are different. So as an engineer, we should revisit our issues, challenges, and we should look for the local and sustainable solutions. These solutions should be low cost, and this solution should be create local employment opportunities. Then we should be aware about the advanced upcoming technologies and upskill ourselves and our subordinates. Then continuous learning and knowledge sharing and building engineering community is the biggest thing that we should adopt. And last, we should imagine vision, anticipate upcoming technologies, and orient ourselves and labors for creating jobs in new sector through skilling, upskilling, and reskilling of the efforts. So I think through this presentation, I express my thoughts, and I am really thankful to uh, all the members of Institution of Engineers, Ahmednagar Local Center, for inviting me and giving me this opportunity to share my thoughts with you. Thank you, sir, and over to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Hello.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you. Over to you, sir.
Sharing your thoughts with us, sir. It was pleasure listening to you, sir. As rightly said by Queen Elizabeth II, at its heart, engineering is about using science to find creative, practical solutions, sir.
We are very excited to announce the launch of our newly designed IEI ALC website. After 3 months of hard work and dedication, would make it possible. With the kind courtesy of Engineer KM Rajesh sir, founder member and past chairman of IEI ALC, who took whole responsibility to financial obligations. We would like to thank Engineer KM Rajesh sir for this generous gesture.
Now I would like to request our today's chief guest, Honorable Engineer Praveen Kohli sir, to inaugurate IEI Ahmednagar Local Center website by clicking on the red ribbon. Thank you, sir.
जो मंजिलों को पाने की चाहत रखते हैं, वो समंदरों पर भी पत्थरों के पुल बना देते। इसी पैशन से चलने वाले प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ टुडेज फंक्शन, इंजीनियर अरविंद पारगावकर सर, डायरेक्टर मैन्युफैक्चरिंग स्नाइडर इंडिया प्राइवेट लिमिटेड। विदाउट वेस्टिंग टाइम, आई रिक्वेस्ट इंजीनियर AP Pargavkar sir for delivering his presidential address. Over to you, sir.
Today's chief guest, Praveenji Kohli, Superintending Engineer, all my fellow engineers, and all the awardees which are going to identified awards for this year. Engineers Day function is generally celebrated on 15th of September. In the memory of Dr. Mokshagundam Vishweshwaraya. But then this year it got delayed because of some certain technical as well as another difficulties. But anyway, there is a week to be celebrated as an engineer. Engineer Pravanji Kolle has nicely elaborated about definition of engineer. Actually, engineers are meant to manage the resources. The quest of engineer is to get maximum with minimum resources, to get more and more with less and less. That is what the engineer's ambition is, and that's how this engineering fraternity is serving to the mankind so far so many years. This is the 54th Engineers Day being celebrated. My dear friends, Pravinji Kolle nicely elaborated. Actually, I heard him very keenly because he came with nice data. He talked about economy, started with world economy, and then he came down to Indian economy. Actually, is a very beautiful piece of information he has passed on to us, and it was very apt on this particular day. Actually, when our Prime Minister is dreaming for $5 trillion economy, when we are at say 2.5 or 2.8 or something like that, and when he is talking about demographic dividend, where there is a 65% of the population belonging in the range of say 15 to 59 years of age, we are the youngest. We are the youngest country in the world. Actually, when we call it as a demographic dividend, if we fruitfully engage our youth or these working hands, say 65% population in a useful manner, then it will be dividend. But if we fail, then it can be a bomb also. So it is a two-edged sword. And when we are carefully planning our economy, we should work on the skill building of our youth and opportunities for the youth. Our economy is composed of three parts: 16% of agricultural income, 32% from industries, and balance 51 from service sector. My dear friends, this COVID pandemic, which started in end of the 2019 in China, and when it began in India in say first quarter from say March, we are very badly affected because of that. One side we had say golden opportunity of this demographic dividend, and we got a huge setback of this pandemic on this economy, and it has become a very challenging situation now. Kolle sir has nicely elaborated that we went down to say 24% and -7%, and then now we have recovered. My dear friends, we are yet not at the level of say 2019. I want to elaborate that till 2019, we were supposed to move at the rate of say 7.5 to 8%. But then all the factors around, the international factors, our growth rate came down to 4% or 5% in the say era of say 2018, 2019. And in that, we got this setback. When we talk of GST collection by our central government, we find that we are not yet reached to the level of say 2019 even. So it is a big challenge in front of us. And now with this pandemic in position and with this new normal, certainly we'll have to have new skills sets required. Actually, Kolle sir has very elaborately discussed about this skill building. I don't want to touch upon that. Actually, when I work in an industry and when I see my eyes what is happening in, say, last year, when we started our factory in the month of, say, April or so, we started with 10% manpower, then subsequently 25%, and then 50% strength. So half of the year, we suffered very badly. Of course, there was no requirement. Requirement also got parallelly dropped. It was not a good sign. But somewhere in the month of, say, September or so, we started delivering at 80% or so. But then again, this year in the month of March and April, this second wave hit us very badly. And with that, again, the cycle which we started last year came down again. And now again we are picking up and we are reaching to a normal, but still it is not normal. Many industries are getting affected, like automobile sector, getting affected because non-availability of the electronic chips. They say that Taiwan is the only country making the chips, and because of the shortage of water, they are not able to deliver the chips. The chips which is being used in electronic circuits, the circuits are not available, and our industry is suffering because of that. There was a huge setback because of metal prices. Metal prices has skyrocketed in price. Copper, steel, even plastic material was not available. So many threats were there because of this pandemic. So first, we were struggling through reaching to the growth rate of say 7.5% to 8%. Parallelly, we got a setback because of pandemic, and all these factors were contributing to our recession in the economy. Now, when we want to really convert that demographic dividend into say dividend, then naturally we'll have to get used to this new normal practices. We'll have to build our teams as suggested by Kohli sir. Actually, there are many new practices came in picture, like these IT companies, they have adopted the style of working from home. In EVA, say mechanical industries also, or engineering, say construction industry also, wherever possible, people have started working from home. So new kinds of setup, like he mentioned about Zoom. So there are many technology. People are using it very effectively. There is a faster communication happening in this world. We'll have to teach all these our new teams for this industry 4.0. Actually, there is automation and robotics available since 1960. Is being used in engineering industry, but then this Internet of Things, big data analysis, cloud systems, and all those servers. Now we'll have to educate our people from that perspective and make use of those things to make our country a 5 trillion economy. Sir mentioned about that our ranking in economy or GDP is 7th, and now we are aiming at say 3rd position. But I'm sure, looking at our potential in past, after say liberalization in globalization in 1992 with Dr. Manmohan Singh and P.V. Narasimha Rao, the growth rate of our GDP has improved a lot. Subsequently, all our economical policies also became conducive. And with now this pandemic-related teaching, I'm sure things will be moving better and better. Ahmednagar Center is working hard to make our presence in this city to a greater extent. Our Secretary Anekar sir has mentioned about construction of our new building. Is a new building getting constructed around say 680 square meters, 3-story building with all the facilities like auditorium and libraries and discussion rooms and yoga centers. All those facilities will be available for these Nagar engineers. We want to make it a grand success. I request all of you to contribute by any mode to this center so that we can have our own building, we can have our own asset, and give service to engineering fraternity in coming days time. We have identified few engineers for best performance of last year. We have done a proper assessment. So those who applied and not getting that, don't get discouraged because of that. All are good. The competition was very, very tough. But then somebody will get that and somebody will, because we cannot award everybody. So they can apply next year also. Those who are winners, I'm congratulating them for their great efforts to build their career to this level. This function is nicely coordinated by our IT team of our engineer institution nicely. So far, this program has gone well, and I think it has delivered best result. I am thankful to Pravinji Kohli sir for his best delivery, as well as I am thankful to all the organizing committee to have this function managed nicely and timely. and I'm congratulating all the winners of this competition. Not competition, but then the performance. With this, I rest my words. Thank you very much. Abhay, you
Thank
will
you
have to
so much,
mute.
sir. Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for your presidential address.
Thank you.
Now, I would like to thank juries who worked on committee for selection of engineering awards. Engineer K.M. Rajesh sir, past chairman IIA ALC. Engineer A.P. Pargaonkar sir, past chairman IIA Ahmednagar Local Center. Engineer A.D. Kulkarni sir, immediate past chairman. Engineer M.M. Anekar, honorary secretary. Your time and dedication made it possible to reward engineers for their creative efforts. Thank you.
Now it's time for the most awaited moment, that is engineering award declaration. The first category is promising engineering award, and the first is engineer Pulkit Garg, scientist D from VRD Ahmednagar. रुकावटें आती है सफलता की राहों में, ये कौन नहीं जानता, फिर भी वह मंजिल पा लेता है जो हार नहीं मानता. With these words, the today's awardee, engineer Pulkit Garg, he has started his career in DRDO as a scientist B in April 2009. Here, he worked as a design and development of transport cum loader vehicle for Akash missile. He authored a research paper titled Finite Element Analysis of Article Mounting Frame for Transporter cum Loader Vehicle of Akash missile. Thereafter, in 2013 July, he became scientist C in VRD. He worked for design and development of jet deflector vehicle for strategic program, then design and development of loader cum replenishment vehicle and replacement vehicle for Pinaka system. Thereafter, in July 2018, since then, he is working as a scientist D in strategic and tactical vehicle division of PRD, where he works on design and development of heavy recovery vehicle for strategic program. So congratulations for this promising engineering award to engineer Pulkit Garg. Second award of this category goes to engineer Sagar Sasani, who is senior engineer Schneider Electric India Private Limited, previously known as L&T Ahmednagar. मेरी तकदीर को बुलंद बदल देंगे मेरे बुलंद इरादे, मेरी किस्मत नहीं मोहताज मेरे हाथों की लकीरें की. So with this, engineer Sagar Sasane is working sincerely as a mechanical engineering and adapts a team player, planner, manufacturing techniques. He has completed mechanical engineering and MBA in manufacturing management. He has 15 years of broad experience in manufacturing of switchgear. He had worked in ABB multinational organization Nashik, presently working in L&T Electrical and Automation. He has his active participation in various quality competition, convention organized by Confederation of Indian Industry, Quality Sulphur Forum of India, etc. He was the winner of CII National Championship Trophy of TPM SHE Circle, that is Safety, Health and Environment, in December 2019. More than 30 awards won in various competition and convention like QCFI, CII. He is Manufacturing Excellence Coordinator in L&T Electrical and Automation. He plays thinking positive and invisible, intangible, and achieves impossible things for his company. So congratulations to Sagar Sasane for being a promising engineer award of this year. Next category is Lady Engineer Award, and this award goes to Engineer Mrs. Sheila Ramchandra Pawar Dare. यूं ही नहीं मिलती राही को मंजिल, एक जुनून सा दिल में जगाना होता है. पूछा चिड़िया से कैसा बना आशियाना, बोली भरनी पड़ती है उड़ान बार बार, तिनका तिनका उठाना पड़ता है. So with great efforts, she is now doing her PhD from KL University, Hyderabad. Completed his ME in Computer Science Engineering from Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Marathwada University, Aurangabad, with first class. BE in Computer Science from GS Rai Soni College of Engineering, Ahmednagar, with first class. Diploma in Information Technology from Padma Shri Dr. Vikhe Patil College of Polytechnic, Gujarat. Now she is working as an assistant professor in computer engineering department of Sri Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj College of Engineering, Nepti, Ahmednagar. 4 papers in IEEE, 2 papers in Scopus, including 1 in elsewhere, 4 patents on her name. Out of that, 2 patents granted and 2 filed. She participated more than 30 FDPs. So with these great efforts, she is the winner of Leading Engineer Award of this year. Congratulations for her. Next category is Engineering Achievement Award, and this award goes to Dr. Anil Bhausaheb Pawar. क्या सफलता पाएगा वो जो रहता निर्भर गैरों के पैरों पर, मंजिल तो उसके कदमों में है जो चलता अपने पैरों पर. So with these efforts, he is a Dean Academics and Professor in Department of Computer Engineering, SREX, Sanjeevani College of Engineering, Kopargaon. He has been working for Sanjeevani College of Engineering for more than 16 years and has shown a remarkable performance ever seen in teaching profession, with always praising by students, stakeholders, and other organizations too. Dr. A.B. Pawar is always dependable, efficient, and well. His skills do not end with the office work and research work, but also projects a cheerful attitude towards all the things. He is very famous among the students, and with his efforts, the institute has grown up to the great heights. So congratulations, Dr. Anil Pawar. The second award of this category goes to Engineer Yashwant Ramchandra Joshi. He has experience of nearly 40 years. He has completed his education in Pune. He has been working as a civil engineer since 1981. He started his career with MS Atur India Private Limited, Pune, as a junior engineer and thereafter senior engineer. During this period, he worked for projects on prestige in situ segmental construction of RCC box adequate at Sauleshwar Adequate, Solapur, Maharashtra Government Irrigation Project. After that, he joined MS Larsen & Toubro Limited, Mumbai, ECC, as an assistant engineer and engineer. Initially, he worked at their Ahmednagar switchgear works for prestige precast factory building, RCC overhead tank, concrete roads, etc. Thereafter, at Jawaharlal Nehru Port Trust, Reliance Petrochemical Project at Hazira, and cold rolling mill project at MS Special Steels Limited at Tarapur for construction of electrical substations, mass concrete units such as ethylene tanks, precast filling works. Then with MS Zenith Limited, Tarapur, a Birla Group company, as a senior civil engineer and department head of civil maintenance and projects. He was engaged in civil maintenance work of chemical plant as well as residential colonies. He also looked after execution of effluent treatment project. Since August 1996, he is working in L&T Ahmednagar works. He has executed more than 30,000 square meter of industrial RCC construction, including helipad, clubhouse, etc. Planned a landscape, plantation and garden rainwater harvesting project in the company. So मंजिलें उन्हीं को मिलती है जिनके सपनों में जान होती है, पंखों से कुछ नहीं होता, हौसलों से उड़ान होती है. So with these words, congratulate Yashwant Ramchandra Joshi sir for this green achievement. Next category is Outstanding Engineer Award, and this award goes to Engineer Dilip Vishnu Adhav. He is plant head of MU Switchgear Schneider Electric India Private Limited. वो जो शोर मचाते हैं भीड़ में, भीड़ ही बनकर रह जाते हैं, वही पाते हैं जिंदगी में कामयाबी जो खामोशी से अपना काम कर जाते हैं. He is an active and highly successful plant head in L&T, has 25 years of wide experience in handling the complete spectrum of manufacturing, supply chain management, material and vendor management functions in electrical switchgear industry. He organized his unit into close-knit teams which raised productivity dynamically. He reduced the cycle time and significantly improved the product quality. He is a leader of result-oriented, works well with all levels of management and undertakes the difficult challenges. He is a key person for handling switchgear operations, a trainer, leader, and handling all the team effectively for the benefit of organizations. Congratulations, Dilip Adhav sir, for this prestigious Outstanding Engineer Award from IEI
ALC. We are very glad to share the most prestigious award, that is Lifetime Achievement Award, and this award goes to Dr. R.S. Shinde sir, outstanding scientist and head retired Magnet Technology Division, Department of Atomic Energy, Raja Ramanna Center for Advanced Technology, Indore, Government of India. If you dream and allow yourself to dream, you can do anything. The focus, discipline, hard work, goal setting, and of course, the thrill of finally achieving your goal leads to the destination. So, with these words, the words are fitting correct. The today's awardee, Dr. R.S. Shinde sir. He bagged All India rank 1 with percentile of 99.99, the first grade topper in the science and engineering in the country in 1984. R.S. Shinde sir received his MTech degree in electrical engineering with specialization in magnetics in 1986 from IIT Kanpur. He was gold medalist. He received All India 4th rank in Indian Engineering Services IES conducted by UPSC New Delhi in 1986. He has been also qualified IAS examination by UPSC. He was Deputy Manager Signal Indian Railway in Northern Railway at Allahabad for 2 months. He was a research scientist in Tokyo Institute of Technology, Tokyo, Japan from August 1986 to September 1987. From August 86 to March 88, he was R&D manager in the industries in India and Tokyo, Japan. He obtained a PhD in engineering from Tokyo Institute of Technology, Japan in the year 2011. Since April 98, he joined Raja Ramanna Center for Advanced Technology Indore as a scientific officer, where now outstanding scientist and head accelerator magnet technology division. He been visited several foreign countries as magnet technology experts for delivering invited talk and deputation. This includes Tokyo Institute of Technology, Japan, Geneva, Switzerland, European Synchrotron Radiation Source, ESRF, Grenoble, France, Swiss Light Sources, Zurich, Korea, Brazil, Spain, Sweden, Scotland, Philippines, Netherlands, etc. He has published more than 100 papers in the international journal, bulletins, and 500 papers in the conference, workshop, etc. In a view of his outstanding contribution in innovative research excellence developed in the world, New York Academy of Science and Engineering USA have approved his name for honoring doctorate in engineering degree, that is D Engineering USA. He is a member of several scientific societies, Executive Council member of Magnetic Society of India, IEEE Magnetics and Electronics Society USA, Japanese Magnetic Society, Materials Research Society of India, IIC Bangalore, Indian Particle Accelerators, International Maglev Board Russia, New York Academy of Science USA, etc. He is outstanding scientist and head of the Accelerator Magnet Technology Division at DAE Government of India. So congratulations to Dr. R.S. Shinde sir for this great award, that is Lifetime Engineering Achievement Award from IEI ALC. Congratulations, sir.
Congratulations, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
May I request Dr. R.S. Shinde sir to please share his feelings about this award, sir?
Yeah. Thank you very much for selecting me and giving me this award as a Lifetime Achievement Award. And I am very thankful to the Institution of Engineers and their body selecting me for this award. In addition to this, I would like to take, I already got one Lifetime Achievement in Defense Component Development by Defense Board, and I already got one more Lifetime Achievement Award, but European Community in Scotland, in a view of, I was involved in the invention of the God particles, Brahman, where I got been, and I am the first person in the Europe, in the world, who has got the Lifetime Achievement in Engineering Excellence at London. And beside this, India government also given me Bharat Jyoti Award because I have done an enormous contribution to the defense and space projects. And also I worked with I would like to say, for 6 years, I had worked with the Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam in the missile component development. And we are in the memory of his 2018, Government of India constituted the award. Now I got this Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Technology Excellence Award also got to me only. And besides this, I am the first person in the India who invented the maglev train working model. I also sit in the train, and this got a lot of recognition. And Singapore government recognized as one of the best global invention in the world. And I got this award in 2018. And besides this, I got several awards. Dr. Homi Bhabha Award for science and engineering development. I done the several work in research and development and show the huge foreign exchange, maybe more than 5,000 of crores of rupees that we are importing from from Russia and other country. I developed the indigenous component. Now all we are self-reliant in the field of certain components for the nuclear programs of India. And besides this, also I got several awards from the other than this community. I got award from the Assam government also, Assam Puraskar Award, Assam Gauram Award, and besides this, Himachal government has taken me as scientific and technology advisor for the Himachal government policies, and also I am the executive council member for the Northeast Council for Science and Technology, and so many. I am also expert member in defense, Gaganyaan, Chandrayaan, Mangalyaan, Gyro mission of Government of India's ISRO mission. Thank you very much.
Great, sir. Very inspirational, sir. Motivational.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. So we are very much thankful to III Ahmednagar Local Center for giving me and Dr. DB Karanjule an opportunity to host this ceremony. Thank you once again. Now I would like to hand over last session of this program to Dr. D.A. Vidate sir for announcements and vote of thanks.
Thank you, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So, special appreciation as a Corona warriors take Samaritans. During the tough time of lockdown and Corona period, the people came forward to help the society and the entire mankind. Along with the doctors, medical persons, police system, the technical people, especially engineers, were also involved in different activities. They are called as Corona warriors. A special name is given to them by III headquarters as Take Samaritans. We are proud to mention that our 3 committee members were contributed a lot as a Corona warrior, that is Take Samaritan, and did outstanding work. They are Engineer K.M. Dongre sir, Engineer Abhay Raje sir, and Dr. D.B. Karanjule sir. We wholeheartedly congratulate and appreciate their efforts toward the society. Congratulations, sir. Now coming to the final part of the session, that is vote of thanks. Honorable dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, faculty members and students. It's my privilege to propose a vote of thanks on this occasion. I, on behalf of Ahmednagar Local Center of the Institution of Engineers India, and on my own behalf, I extend my warm vote of thanks to all dignitaries for gracing this function and sharing your findings and opinion with us. Every year, 15th September is observed as birth anniversary of great engineer Bharat Ratna Sir M. Vishweshwaraya. On this auspicious occasion, Ahmednagar Local Center of the Institution of Engineers India has celebrated 54th Engineers Day. All gathered here engineers from industries, government officials,
educational institutions, professionals, faculty members, and students. It gives me a great pleasure to thank you all. Any event is good as the people who take time out of their busy schedule to help to put it all together. I must mention our deep sense of appreciation for Engineer Praveen Kolle, chief guest and keynote speaker of today's function, for sparing his valuable time for us and giving an excellent coverage on today's theme. Thank you, sir. We also would like to acknowledge our gratitude towards Engineer Sangam Sinha, sir, Chairman, Engineer A.P. Pargokar, sir, past Chairman, and Engineer M.M. Anekar, sir, Honorary Secretary of the Ahmednagar Local Center, for their guidance and constant encouragement. I am thankful to all executive committee members of Ahmednagar Local Center for their devoted and dedicated efforts, without which this would have not been possible. I am also thankful to all who are directly or indirectly involved to bring this program a successful one. Finally, I would like to take this opportunity to place on record thanks to all of you for patience listening and being present here for the program. Now, with the permission of Chair, I declare the program is over. Thank you all. All the participants to stand for the national anthem.
जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंधु गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल गंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंगा सब शुभ नामे गावे सब शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तब जय गाथा जन गण मंगल दायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे।
Once again, thank you all of you. Now you may leave the meeting.
Thank you everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, Vidate sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Nice meeting.